By way of introduction, for those that I haven't met yet, my name is George Wright, and I'm the CEO of FareShare UK. I'm relatively recent. I've been here about 7 months. Prior to that, I was running the food group at Marks and Spencer's. I won't make any big claims to fame other than I am the person who sued Aldi over a chocolate caterpillar, right? Which was the main thing I'd done in my career. And I thought I'd better pull my finger out and make a bigger contribution, and I came to this. A few figures to start us off. There are 12 million tonnes of food wasted in the UK every year, half of it in the supply chain and half of it at home. For every 1 tonne of that food, it generates 2 tonnes of CO2, which is equivalent, so the waste food is equivalent of 10% of global greenhouse gases. Meanwhile, 13 million people are in food insecurity, 4 million of them children that are going to bed hungry. And the statistic that is the reason I'm here is that only 2% of that 6 million tonnes of food that's wasted actually gets redistributed. Right? And if you compare that to America, they do about 7 or 8, so there's a big opportunity for us. And that's where FareShare come in. Our proposition is threefold. First off, well actually, you'll see it today, safety first. We try and keep everybody safe. We try and protect the food to make sure it's as safe and nutritious and as high a quality for people as possible. The second is we are a multiplier. We take the investment from the food industry, from our funders, and we multiply it in terms of its environmental and social impact. And we do that because we work with surplus food. And we do that through volunteers, many of whom are here today, who mean that we have a very low-cost operation, such that for every £1 invested in our network, we generate £6 worth of economic value. But last, but by no means least important bit, is we are the supply base to almost 9,000 charities across the country who don't just give out food, but they help people with all manner of problems. And that's everything from families, children, youths, the community, the elderly, homelessness, asylum seekers, substance abuse, ex-offenders, and people with mental and physical challenges. In total in the UK, we redistribute 55,000 tonnes of food, 128 million meals, and we save 95,000 tonnes of CO2. In Liverpool alone, out of the centre we're in today, there's over a tonne of food last year, 2,000 tonnes of CO2, 2.5 million meals supplied to 266,000 charities. But the opportunity is to do so much more. And that's what we're here to celebrate today. The country is in economic, in socioeconomic and environmental crisis. There's no other way to put it. That much waste, that many people struggling to feed themselves is a crisis. And in a crisis, like in so many times, a country comes together and collaboration is what it's all about. And the Coronation Food Hubs are all about collaboration. And I'm proud to say today we're here to announce the first of them. What are those hubs here to do? Well, the Coronation Food Project has 3 strands. I'm not going to take Martina's thunder, so I'm going to stop there. Part of it is generating food, but the big one is about having these Coronation Food Hubs. It's about increasing our capacity to handle more food from the food industry. It's also about processing more difficult to use food, either breaking it down into different formats or getting it from people who don't supply today and bringing it through and making it possible for the charities to use it. It's also about creating a community kitchen where people will come and be fed, where we'll take that food and cook it and feed people on site. But we'll also train charities to cook more food. There is a lot more waste food out there, but it needs to be cooked, and we'll bring the charities together and they'll cook it. But last but not least, it's a place where we all come together, where food industry, funders, charities and beneficiaries come together to be the beating heart of a community. It's a way more than a warehouse that we're trying to correct. We're going to create a movement. We're going to create something where people come together and help each other get out of this crisis that the country's in today. So our aim is to more than double what we're doing here. Our aim is to add 4 million meals, nearly 2 tonnes of extra food, to add to save 3,500 tonnes of CO2. And Liverpool will be the first, and we hope will be the best. And our team here today, Anne and the team, I hope you'll see them today, are absolutely pumped about the chance to do this. So what we're making happen here today is something really special. But I talked about the need for collaboration, everybody come together, but also to achieve something like this, it takes leadership. And obviously we've got the leadership of His Majesty King Charles III, who has been the leading environmentalist of his generation, and he is at the start of this auspicious journey in the Coronation Food Project. But I also want to pay tribute to the leadership of Steve Morgan and the Steve Morgan Foundation, the principal funders of this endeavour. Without their support, we wouldn't have got other people in. And it started something which is happening all around the country. We're aiming to do much more of them. So to Steve and the foundation, our sincere thanks for making this special location possible, and thank you.